Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. My name's Gilly and I'm sharing with you what we had for our evening meal each day this week. I do hope that you enjoy watching these videos and maybe try the recipe out for yourselves. I do try to make them as easy as possible for you, so please enjoy. 21st of April, which was a Monday, we had the Marks and Spencer's Gastropub Fish Pie. It serves two, this particular one, so we did only have it with corn because there is potatoes on the top of it and a lovely crumb as well. It takes about an hour in the oven though, and it's got cod, smoked haddock, king prawns, scallops in there in a cream and white wine sauce, so it was really lovely and delicious. But serve it with whatever vegetables you want with that. If you want some more potatoes on there, then just have some more potatoes. There was enough for us though, to be honest. And it had a lovely sauce to it. As you can see, it was really a tasty fish pie, but quite expensive. 22nd of April, we had cornflake chicken with salt and pepper chips. Everything was homemade, and I will put a recipe on the channel separately to this one because this one will go quite quickly. Just use frozen chips. You can make your own chips if you want to. Chop an onion up, or dice an onion. And then we used half of each pepper, so we didn't use the full pepper, but if you want any more in, you can do. So dice those as well into cubes, as you can see. And then we use salt and MSG, half a teaspoon, chili flakes as well, half a teaspoon. Mix together half a teaspoon black pepper, ginger and 5 spice as well. And see what I did with the cornflakes. Just crush those however you want to. I used a wine bottle because that's all I'd got at the time. Get your egg. This is your coating for your chicken. So you can see the ingredients there that I'm using for these. Add the chips to the air fryer and you'll be cooking those for about 20 minutes. Cover the chicken in the cornflake mixture and then just put on a plate just to go into the air fryer when the chips are done. That's what I used, but you can use whichever sweet and sour or any sauce that you want to. And this is cooking the salt and pepper chips, which were absolutely lovely, really nice. Put your onions in first. Get a nice colour onto them. As you can see the colour in. And then add your peppers in. Give them a mix. Garlic. Can't live without garlic. Add your salt and your MSG together. If you've not got MSG, then you can just use just a little bit more salt if you want. Add your chips in there and give them a stir, and then put your 5 spice mix over. And then dish up. So your chicken took about 10 minutes in the air fryer. But if you've not got room to do them all at once in the air fryer, just do them in a little batch and then put them in the oven to keep warm. On 3rd of April, Jersey Butter Chicken Kievs with Bubble and Squeak Cakes and corn. Bubble and Squeak Cakes were from Marks and Spencer's. The Kievs were from Aldi. So those were the Bubble and Squeak Cakes. Take 30 minutes in the oven. That's for the Kiev though. And the Bubble and Squeak Cakes took 20. They took about 20 minutes. However you want to cook your corn is fine. I just blanched them in some water, left them there for about 5 minutes and then just stir fried them in some butter. till they've got a bit of colour. Absolutely delicious meal, that one. Lovely. Then 24th of April, we had creamy Cajun chicken pasta, which is simple. Cajun chicken were from Tesco's, just escallops, but you can get those from Morrison's or any supermarket. These are the ingredients that we used for this meal. Apart from the pasta, it's all done in the pan, just one pan for that one. These are the ingredients. And this is Gary doing the cooking on this one. You can tell he's an expert in slicing and chopping the mushrooms. So just getting the ingredients together. Boil your pasta, takes about 10 minutes. In the meantime, you can be cooking your chicken in the pan. The spices are on the chicken, so you don't need to add any more, but if you want any more garlic or anything like that, then you can do. It's entirely down to yourselves in whatever you put in there. The chopped tomato and then half of it with water. Just put some water in there, give it a bit more flavour in there. Then put the stock pot in, or oxo cube, tomato puree. These are all flavourings that this dish needs really. And then add your cream in there just to give it, oh, it just makes this meal, the cream. Pepper, you probably don't need salt in there, but give it a taste. Then add your pasta and just let that mix through and then dish up. You'll love this one. Absolutely gorgeous. So Friday the 25th of April, we had a lovely treat to go to the Botanist. It was Samantha, our gorgeous daughter, treated us to go to the Botanist in Barnsley for Mother's Day. So it was absolutely amazing. There were a singer on there, like a jazz singer. Um, they were just brilliant. It was just really nice atmosphere there. So I actually had a hanging steak kebab, which was so filling. Gary had the lamb kofta kebab, and then you get some oil and you can pour it on. This is the Botanist in Barnsley, the entrance. It's so nice, you know, such a nice place, nice and comfy. Staff are great, and we had a wonderful time. Gary had a prawn starter. That's my virgin mojito, a strawberry mojito, which was really tasty, quite sweet, but yeah, it was nice. That's Gary's prawn starter, and he had some garlic toast with it. He said it were lovely, but a little bit spicy. That's my beef steak kebab and the chips, and we got a side of onion rings. So nice, really nice. There was so much, I couldn't actually finish it all, to be honest. And there were me saying, I'm going to have a pudding today because I were hungry, but no. So that was Friday. So Saturday night we had a real treat. We got a couple of pizza bases from Lidl and made two pizzas. There was enough for four people, just to let you know. That was the ham and mushroom. We used these wood fire sourdough pizza bases. I think they were less than £2 each. One of them we had garlic chicken on, so this is Gary making the garlic chicken. That's the garlic butter, a bit of butter and oil, cook the chicken, and then once the chicken's cooked, you put it to one side just to drain. So he puts it on just some kitchen roll, and then chop some mushrooms up, and then we had ham and mushroom on one pizza, garlic chicken and salami on another. There were some mushrooms left, so we popped those on as well. But oh, they were absolutely delicious. We used some mozzarella and cheddar combined, which we got in a bag. You can see us making the pizzas up here. and that's the mozzarella and cheese mix, which is just easy just to sprinkle on. I think that was from Tesco's. Just building up the pizza, just add what you want on there, really. You can add peppers, anything you want. And the pizzas were enormous, you know, but like I said, they were for four, so there were quite a lot left. But they were crispy pizza bases, really nice pizza bases to be fair. But my advice is just to put a little bit more tomato sauce on if you do like a bit more flavour, because they did need them. But absolutely lovely pizzas, and here's Gary trying it. Very nice. 27th of April, we had beef stew, dumplings, and Yorkshire puddings, all homemade. I've put as much as the recipe as I can on this, but I'll try and do a separate recipe for this one. So we use stewing beef, pop the onions into the slow cooker. I did it by slow cooker, 4 hours on high. Add the red wine, oxo cubes. I did add a bay leaf, but I forgot to film that, or it didn't film, so sorry about that. Add the water in there and then the stock cube and leave that for 4 hours. Vegetables for the stew was carrots, swede, potatoes, and the onion was in the stew as well. This is Gary, and he is cutting the swede. So diced it up for this one. He diced it up small because swede sometimes takes a little bit longer to cook. So if I ever do swede, I always do that for about 45 minutes if I'm mashing it. So pop it in the pan. Everything gets put in the pan, in a large pan, and then I add the stock to that. So that's the stock cube going in. The Yorkshire puddings are gluten free, but you can use just plain flour if you don't want gluten free ones. But to be honest, they don't taste any different. So 140 grams of flour, 4 large eggs, and then I pinch of salt in there and 200 millilitres of milk. Whisked this up. I did it about 4 hours before it was due to be cooked. These pans need to be hot, so I usually put them in for about 20 minutes in the oven, about 190. That's how they came out. Pop everything, the meat in with the vegetables, and then cook it for another 45 minutes. This is the dumplings, so it's as it is on the Atora box. 50 grams of suet, 100 grams of self-raising flour, pinch of salt, and then bind it together with some water. Make your little balls up. Mine were just small ones, not large ones. Who were missus? Make them into balls and put them into the stew for about 20 minutes and then just cover. I think I did it for about 20 minutes. You can see them cooking there. They look quite nice. And then dish up when it's time. It does look fiddly, but it's not really. You know, it's all done in one pan. And it does make a great stew for the day after. Sorry about the mess. I slapped it all over. And that's the finished result. See you next week. Enjoy.